Finding a goal where the shootout ended, Bosnia's ultras unfurled a choreography showing USBs and the Fanaticos going to the World Cup. Watching them from the halfway line, a rabble of Italy players turned away and tried to console one another. They cried while everyone partied around them. It's a nightmare, a tearful Leonardo Spinzzola said. I've been on the national team for 9 years and still haven't played at a World Cup. It's awful for Italy, for us. None of the other teammates, including skipper Gianluigi Donnarumma, spoke. They were too distraught, too angry with the result, and the refereeing of the Frenchman Clement Turpin fatefully had also officiated the last World Cup playoff Italy loss against North Macedonia in 2022. Under questioning, Gaetano Gattuso bit his bottom lip. It looked like a coping mechanism in distress. He apologised to the 500 fans who had travelled to Zenica and the millions watching back home. It hurts, he said, needing a moment to gather himself. The Calabrian thanked his players in firm belief they deserve better. It was years since I saw the national team play with such heart, he claimed. He said a couple of regrets. The first was Bastoni's red card before half-time. The second, the chance for Moise King to make it 2-0 with 10 men. Moments like these are why Italy have become the first former champion to miss out on 3 consecutive World Cups. Moments that often get forgotten in the grander, more generalised telling of Italian football decline. For instance, in 2017, the players in the IFF didn't seize their moment. They should have acted on their instincts and staged a mutiny to remove the inadequate Gianpiero Ventura from his position as head coach between the first and second leg of their playoffs against Sweden. In 2022, Jorginho missed penalties against Switzerland home and away, and they were the difference between automatically qualifying or not. In other words, there had been fine margins over a set of circumstances specific to each shortcoming. On Tuesday night in the cramped press room, the FPIGC President Gabriele Gravina and Delegation Chief Gigi Buffon sat down knowing they would face calls for relegation and en masse. Buffon wrote a pained expression on his face. He was in goal against Sweden 9 years ago with a snapshot from Jakob Johansson to defect him wildly off Daniele Di Rossi. That was when Italy's trauma of not qualifying began. Putting it right evidently means a lot to him, and a proud Italian and his country's most capped player of all time. Buffon was the one who chose Gattuso last summer, even though his former teammate had spent a year working in the Balkans with Hajduk. It was not, with all due respect, for Gattuso's career as a player, filled with everyone's confidence in his ability to succeed where others had failed in taking Italy to the World Cup. We're glad you notice things are improving, Buffon said, amid faint praise for the team, but our main goal was to qualify for the World Cup. Loosely, he said that they wouldn't rush into judgment on what's to do next. The season ends in June, and until then, I think it's right for me to carry on my duties with the team and to the president. Nobody resigned. That was a source of contestation back in Italy. Gravina, the president, didn't quit after the loss to North Macedonia or the insipid performance against Switzerland at the Euros when they were beat 2-0 in the last 16. As the common denominator, his critics do not understand how Italy can break the cycle while he's still at the helm. Rather than focus on the result, he complimented the players on their performance. Gattuso defined them as heroic. He said Italy had played with their backs against the Soviet-style tower box, overlooking them for the more than 90 minutes. They crumbled after Bastoni's expulsion and Harris equaliser, but they made it to penalties and hoped Donnarumma would be able to make more than 10 saves, might perform to the level he did in that shootout in the Euros. He spent much of the second half of extra time arguing with the fourth official for not sending off Tariq for a challenge on Palstera on the edge of the box. How much it would have been a different conclusion, who knows. All we know that is it's P.I. Espadal who said showed tremendous courage in stepping up to take Italy's penalty, and Brian Cristante then missed from the spot. These are yet more details on Italy's downfall. One Gravina might cite in support of an argument that Italy are only a couple of kicks away from an epic qualification in Bosnia. Gattuso is a great coach. I asked him to stay, him and Buffon. Patience to some is differing in others. Continuity is not convincing answer right now in what Gravina acknowledges is a time of great crisis. As hostile the atmosphere was in Zenica, Bosnia fans followed their captain Edin Dzeko in applauding the Italian national anthem before kick-off. Dzeko asked them to because Italy was the first team to play in their capital since the Bosnian War 30 years ago. After the game, a Bosnian reporter asked Gattuso, a friend of Italy since the friendly in 1996, why Italy can no longer qualify for the World Cup. He said that these were people better placed than him to give a response. It didn't inspire confidence, let's be honest. Italy have tried to reform themselves since they went out of the group stages as holders in 2010 and then 2014. Arrigo Sacchi was brought in to coach the next generation. More age groups were introduced. Government intervention via the Olympic Committee led to a series of new proposals. For instance, Serie A clubs were allowed to enrol B teams in Italy's third division to help bridge the gap between youth and men's football. These changes have borne fruit. After reaching the final in 2013, 2018 and 2019, Italy won the 17 Euros. in 24. Camarada, who broke Maldini's record as the youngest ever player to make a debut for Milan as part of the team. Coyote got the winner in the final. After reaching the final in 2016 and 18, Italy also won the Euro Under-19s in 2023. The Inter starter, who missed Italy's opening spot kick, was a member of that team. So it's not everything's going wrong for Italy. For the focus of Italian teams falling out of the Champions League, it was only last season they started the league phase with 5 teams after toppling the coefficient. The ownership mix is also far healthier. It was a decade ago when Milan, Inter and a number of other clubs under stable, highly capitalised management. Co-hosting Euro 32 means the first stadium overhaul in nearly a century is underway. A new San Siro's finally got the green lit. There's a new stadium in Florence. There's signs of progress, and yet the national team is once again struggling. With Italy failing to qualify for the World Cup for 9 years ago, the predecessor for Gravinia, Carlo, called it an apocalypse. Apocalypses aren't, by their very nature, supposed to have sequels. They now stand alone. Unlike The Godfather, they've never made it to a trilogy. He left the FIGC, and as trilogies go, this is undoubtedly a football tragedy.
Hey guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily football news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.